I have always resonated with Buddhism more than Christianity. I don't look down on Christians. I don't think that they're stupid or naive or that they're delusional or anything like that. To each of their own. I know that religion provides a lot of comfort and hope for people that they otherwise don't have, and that's a wonderful thing. So don't take this the wrong way if you're Christian. We can always agree to disagree. I personally believe that Buddhism does a better job at reflecting reality than the Christian religion. In my opinion, life is unpredictable, messy. Bad things happen to good people, and vice versa. Life does not care about your feelings or justice. Life is unfair, and life is inherently meaningless. Now, some people, they have the luxury of figuring out what the meaning of their life is, and they feel happy and fulfilled, but most people don't. They spend their whole life chasing after something, but they don't know what. They're trying to fill some kind of void inside of their soul. But each attempt fails. They try over and over and over again until they die. A lot of people don't know how to cope with life because life is hard, and that's understandable. So they turn to God. I personally, again, this is just my opinion, and we can always agree to disagree. If you don't agree with me, I totally respect that. This is just my take. I personally believe that Christianity projects an overly optimistic view on reality that's not realistic. That there is some kind of all powerful, omnipresent God or being looking out for you, working in your best interest and protecting you at all times. And that no matter what you do or what situation you get in, things will always work out in your favor. And if you're struggling or something bad happens to you, it's only temporary and it's there to make you stronger, to learn some kind of lesson, or to prepare you for something bigger. That's what they always say, the Christians. But I don't believe it. A lot of good people, they suffer for no reason. And a lot of bad people, they get away with murder. I believe that life is inherently unfair. People are born as rich multimillionaires and they don't have to lift a finger. Their life is already set up for them. They have it much easier than people who are born poor, people who are born into marginalized groups, minorities. Women have less status in society than men. People who are disabled have it especially hard because society is not built around disability in mind. Some people have to struggle more than others, and a lot of people can't face this truth because it's a very painful truth. And it can feel very discouraging. If you believe that everyone has the same opportunities in life, and that if you just work hard enough, you can achieve anything that you set your mind to, it makes you feel good and it makes you believe that the results that you have in your life, your achievements, are the culmination of your hard work. Now, don't get me wrong. Hard work is very important. You won't get anywhere in life if you just sit on your ass and do nothing. But let's not forget that a lot of it is luck. And when you hear about successful people, you forget about survivorship bias or whatever the hell it's called. All the people who attempted to do the same thing that these people did that failed. All the successful entrepreneurs, the people who went from rags to riches. The famous celebrities, the influencers, the singers, the actors. What you don't realize is that what you see on the screens is a very, very small, lucky minority. And most people who try fail. Does that mean you shouldn't try? No, of course not. But let's be realistic. Let's be aware of the risks that come with making such attempts. You should try because you're worth the attempt. If you want to be a famous actor, for example, this is just an example, but it applies to anything. Let's say you want to be an actor. It's worth taking the risk, not because there's some God out there looking out for you, and this is all a part of the divine plan, that you are always meant to become a successful actor. No. You should try being an actor, even if you most likely will fail, even if you might lose financially, or you might waste your time, or people might bully you or make fun of you, or you might be seen as a failure. Even though there's all these risks, it's still worth it to try. Because deep down, that's what you want to do with your life. That is what makes your life feel meaningful. And you are worth fighting for whatever makes your life feel meaningful. Because if you don't fight for it, you'll never know if you actually succeed or not. You can't just go to a fortune teller and be told that if you try doing this thing, you will succeed. You never know. Because as long as there isn't a 0% chance, there is always an opportunity for you to succeed. And you're worth that effort. But nothing in life will be handed to you. You are not owned anything. And as I said, life does not care about your feelings. People that you love and care about you, they could die any day. Your job that you really love, your career, something could happen where you get fired and you have to start over from scratch. If you're rich and you're financially stable, you could lose all of it in a matter of minutes. Trust me, I know it does not sound logical, and it maybe even sounds like I'm being paranoid or I'm just trying to make people scared. It's not about that. It's about appreciating what you have. Because nothing in this life is guaranteed. Anything good that you have in your life is very, very precious. Because nothing in this life lasts forever. That's also something that I like about Buddhism. It's the emphasis that everything is temporary. It might seem like the way you're living life right now will always be the same because you have every day the same routine. But it can completely switch up at any moment. If you have a car, you could always get into a car accident, and God forbid you get really injured, or you might even die, or if you have someone in the passenger seat, that person might die. You could randomly get a stroke. You could randomly get cancer. People don't like to think about these things because it's not a pleasant thing to think about. It makes you sad, it makes you anxious, it makes you depressed. So people would rather act like the good things in their lives are given because you are a good person and therefore you deserve good things. But that's not how it works. So you should always work for the things that you want in your life. They're not gonna fall into your lap. You should always look out for yourself, protect yourself, because the only person who can truly protect you is yourself. You need to be the person that you always needed, the shoulder you can cry on, the stable person that is always there for you, the rock, the foundation. You need to be that for yourself. Because everyone else has too much emotional bandwidth dealing with their own issues to be able to handle someone else's problems. Do you understand? I know it sounds like I'm trying to preach. I'm not preaching anything. I'm not trying to push an agenda or convince people to convert to Buddhism. I just want to help people because life is very, very hard. And people, they either crumble or they find ways to deal with these painful emotions. And sometimes they go for the wrong things. They turn to alcohol, or they distract themselves with work, or they join a cult, or they do some other bullshit just to be able to deal with the pain of life. But the best way to deal with the pain of being alive is to acknowledge that life is painful and to accept it. I almost forgot the most important part. Why exactly I prefer Buddhism over other religions? It's, as I mentioned, because it has a more realistic view on life. Life fucking sucks. I hate being alive. And a lot of people hate being alive, but they don't want to admit to themselves. And they don't want to talk openly about it because it's taboo. You're expected to love your life. But that's just not the case. And society is at a really strange point in time right now. Family structures are falling apart. Our economy is going to shit. We're going through climate change. World War III might happen. AI might kill us. There's just a lot of things going on right now. And depression is on the rise, especially among young people. So I think people like us, we need a little bit of guidance in a world like this because no one prepared us for this. Not our parents, not our teachers, not our role models. School did not prepare for us for this. Nothing did. We're not ready to face this reality because we were told that everything will always work out. And that's just not true. We were sold a lie. And I want to help you guys. I want to help you guys be able to live a happy and fulfilling life in this soul crushing reality. In this bullshit, unfair, awful fucking life. Because you deserve it.